Thank you. Thank you. Miss Farbit, your reflection on the last 3 days.
It just reminds me of 1981.
Did you think that you would see this in 2015?
I always say that I finished marching, but every time something else comes up, I'm marching again. So now this government, I'm not surprised.
Now, some people have said this is a very selfish generation and time that we're living in. Are you surprised at the turnout?
I'm impressed. Yeah, I'm impressed with the turnout.
How long do you think that, what's the sentiment that how long people are willing to stay strong?
Well, from what I'm hearing and feeling, that they're willing to stay strong for a while.
Now, Mr. Johnson, you as a journalist, how important do you think it is for the media to make sure that they convey the right message with the last few days and going forward?
Wow, the right message. Of course it's important because, you know, there are different factions in this country. Private sector, black people, white people, etc., who will be interpreting things in their own way, according to their own sort of worldview and their perspectives about each other. We all know it's a very divided country, right? But if you look behind us now, there are black people, white people, middle class people, all sorts of people, right, united in the face of what they see as government arrogance. Okay, so I've noticed and I've heard there's some very, very nasty comments on social media. You know, people projecting their prejudice and their stereotypes on this situation, you know, and so our responsibility is to actually say, actually, you know, this is a movement now, it's become some kind of a movement that cannot be ignored, and it's a movement of the people, you know, and any government that ignores the people does so at its peril. You know, if it goes on for another week, I predict probably an early election.
Are you surprised to see the people's reaction?
I'm not surprised. I think, as I indicated to the finance minister, was it yesterday? I can't remember, yeah. That his actions, and he denied this, right, precipitated this, you know. The trigger for all this upset and now amazing show of harmony and unity, really, when you think about it, okay, the trigger was Bob Richards' letter. That's, I think, is an undisputed fact, and I'm not being partisan here or anything, you know. So it was the tone of the content, not necessarily the content itself, but the tone and the mode of transmission. Okay, and also the sense that it was threatening, and the, you know, the 2-weekend deadline, you know, for 6,000 odd people to make a decision, you know, by Monday, that didn't surprise me.
Now,
so this will be the reaction.
Have you heard any murmurs about how long people are willing to hold out?
I was here last night till about midnight actually, and people were saying they'll come again and again and again. You know, it depends on how the government responds, you know. Now, there are various ways people can save face. The union can save face. I'm not going to suggest how on air, you know, because that's not my role. But it's very clear that the government has become entrenched. I don't think the union is entrenched because they've already said, take it off the table for now, as a show of good faith, you know. What we have, and I think what so many people have said, is we have a trust deficit. Okay, in the absence of trust, you know, I see hundreds of people coming out every night for at least the next week. You know, it was the eve of the 50th anniversary of the Belco disturbances, you know, and why any government would do this kind of thing, you know, and the Premier stand by it, as he said yesterday, you know, such a historic moment in our history, kind of defies, you know, defies logic in a way. And, you know, I know they're backbenchers of the OBA thinking this, so this is not I, Johnson, ranting against the government here. You know, I know there are people within the OBA saying, what the F are we doing here? You understand?
Mr. Wolf, did you think that you would see such action in 2015?
Definitely not. This is really different. Never expect to see anything like this at this time in our lives.
Why not?
Well, you know, you would think that we've moved way beyond this, considering, you know, what our forefathers have been through and what the unions have been through over the many years. You would have thought we would have moved way past this. I wasn't here for the strikes of 1981, but I understand that the situations that brought that are the very same thing that's bringing this here today.
As a former BUT president, how do you feel that you see teachers standing and principals standing so strong together?
I'm extremely proud of both our teachers and our principals for the stance that they've taken, because, you know, they say we're responsible for the children, and this will eventually go down to the children also. So if we don't take a stand now, then we're not doing anything for the children in terms of their future and their sustainability in our country.
Thank you very much.